After fighting back against the Defense Department plan to shift $1 billion in military funds to pay for 57 miles of fencing along the U.S.-Mexico border, calling it quite unbelievably irresponsible. This as U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner telling reporters just moments ago that the United States is at a breaking point at the border. Border and Commerce Secretary Council President Nelson Bolito is with us. Nelson, also news coming across the tape yesterday, 3,700 apprehensions at the southern border, the largest one-day apprehensions in 10 years. It's obvious that this crisis is getting worse.
Hey, Charles, good to see you. I'll tell you, this is border gone wild. Absolutely. The asylum situation is only getting worse. And if you recall, you and I talked about it in early November, that the asylum issue was going to get worse, and guess what? It's nearly 100,000 people are flowing over that border on a monthly basis now, and certainly no wall or any other gadget is going to stop that, because this issue there is that we need to pressure Mexico and the Central American governments to do their part, and our Congress needs to do their part to ensure that we have an asylum reform that makes absolute sense to stop this illegal flow of people over this border, that all they want to do is get apprehended and be released into the country.
What does asylum reform look like?
Well, asylum reform has to start simply with, if you want to come to this country, there's a legal way to do that. And there has to be a way that we return these people. If you come to the border, we have to return you back to the country if you arrived illegally. Currently, the system does not allow people to go, if you're away from Mexico or a country separated through Mexico, if you arrive at our border, we cannot send you back to Central or South America. We have to process you, give you your day of court, especially when you come with a minor child. So that is where it needs to start. We need to send people back that arrive to the border in an illegal situation and have them apply the normal and legal way of coming to this country.
Nelson, how did you know that because this spike is remarkable, the numbers that are pouring in right now, I mean, again, they go back to well over a decade. How did you know? Was it the fact that the government shut down over this issue? Do you think people are looking outside of this country saying, hey, we know that the Democrats are more or less not going to allow the sort of changes that will stop us, and maybe it became a de facto red carpet?
Well, I'll tell you, the thing is that you just got to look at the numbers. 3,000 people were claiming asylum in March of 2018. When we were talking in November of 2018, it was 30,000. Now it's 100,000. You just got to look at the numbers. And really, it's our business as the council to work with the Border Patrol and Customs and ICE to ensure that they have the resources that they need and really be their voice, and sometimes they can't be that voice, right? The resources that they need are simply not enough. They need more. We need people, we need technology, and absolutely we need a wall, because a wall stops the traditional illegal immigration and certainly the drug trafficking that has nothing to do with asylum and absolutely is invading our country that way too. So these are the things. You just got to look at the numbers. People aren't looking at the numbers. They're not reporting the numbers. And frankly, Congress hasn't really cared. Yeah, they've been focused on the wrong thing.
I remember even at the end of the year, a lot of people were quoting fiscal year 2017 numbers because they were lower than fiscal year 18. So a lot of disingenuousness, but it's a serious issue, and we always appreciate your expertise, Nelson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles. You bet.